Hey there.
Hi.
State your name.
I'm Martin and Leia.
Krislyn Hollis.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. A little tired, but ready for next semester, to be honest.
Have you done anything exciting lately?
Uh,
I'm a part of Marching the Zoo,
I went to a drag show a couple weeks ago.
getting through the process of my fraternity,
Very fun. Met Michael Jackson.
keeping track of school.
How would you compare this coming Thanksgiving to last year's?
Before Thanksgiving, my dad had to go to Mexico, and so when he came back, he had to be quarantined for 2 weeks. And so actually having my dad at Thanksgiving this year would be pretty nice.
In the Mizzou sense, I would not know. I am a transfer student. Last semester around Thanksgiving, we were all shelled away at home. So I am looking forward to being around people a little bit more this semester.
Uh, in addition to just being around more people, do you miss any specific activities?
I went to small town Missouri for high school, so we never really were limited due to COVID.
I don't think there's any that I miss that I haven't been able to do during the pandemic. I do definitely miss being around my friends a lot more than it was.
The mayor had implemented a mask mandate, but a couple days later was seen breaking that mandate. And so the people of that town just kind of thought that since he took it as a joke, it wasn't necessarily important.
Have you changed or acquired any habits in the last 2 years?
I was always made it a point to just stay clean. And so my habits haven't necessarily changed, they just kind of amplified.
I've gotten a lot better at cleaning. I've also gotten better at powerlifting. I do hope to hit the 200 mark this week.
Do you like some change in habits more than others? And if so, why or why not?
I do definitely feel a bit more healthier.
It is nice that since COVID happened, if people cough or sneeze and don't have a mask, they will be more inept, I think is the word, to cough or sneeze into the sleeve of their elbow.
I do stay to myself a bit more than I would like.
Did you feel any choice in adopting these habits?
In small town Missouri, yes, there was definitely a big choice to adopt these habits, especially since the threat of COVID isn't as prominent, since people don't travel, people don't leave the town, all that stuff.
Don't really have a choice in the cleaning aspect of it, but I did definitely have a choice in powerlifting and wanting to better myself.
Have another person's or community's actions during this pandemic affected you? If so, how?
The COVID situation down in Mexico had a big impact on my family.
In my hometown, people are not very into the mask thing.
My grandmother actually died from COVID.
They're very much the whole thing is staged by Biden.
One big part is because she's super superstitious.
It did make it a bit hard for attending school, doing basic things, making my midnight runs to Walmart.
She refused a ventilator, and she's also very up there in age.
I also lost a lot of communication angles.
That was probably the biggest impact from COVID, was just,
I lost a year of college, I believe.
I don't know, life goes on kind of thing.
Very sorry to hear about your grandma.
I appreciate it.
Do you think there needs to be a change in how we're handling the pandemic?
I feel like at the moment we're handling it fairly well.
I do think that a vaccine mandate is necessary for people who are able to get them, who have no issue with getting them, no illnesses or anything like that.
Mask mandates aren't necessarily taken seriously.
I think there needs to be some kind of forced vaccine mandate.
It's weird. I feel like pushing them more will cause less people to use them.
I don't want to say we need to go gun-ho, but something needs to change.
The more it's forced on people, the bigger the divide it will be between the people who use masks and don't use masks.
What are some things you wish people knew about the pandemic?
The false COVID deaths.
I wish people knew that it wasn't politics.
Someone does test positive for COVID, but they die while they're testing positive.
People are dying. People are not going to make it. People have not made it.
In a lot of cases, I've heard that they will count that as a COVID death.
There needs to be a certain amount of empathy. Whether you have it or not, you need to learn it at this time. because we're not going to make it very much farther if we continue this route.
What advice do you have for people in the future?
Don't avoid friends. Try and keep that contact as much as you can.
In terms of as a person, don't take the normal times for granted.
It does get pretty bad by yourself.
Once things change, it's not going to be easy going back if you can't go back at all.
But with other people and with the correct attitude and empathy.
Don't take the good times people have for granted, and don't take people for granted.
You can get through this.
In a moment, it can just all change.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your time, Martin. Wa ma salama, Krislyn.
Thank you.